How's it going, guys? It's me, Domo of the Domo channel, here today with our episode 3 episode review of Charlotte, as we see here. So now, this episode, pretty dang amazing. Like, every single time I watch a new episode of Charlotte, it just impresses me more and more of the anime. So, let's get on with this episode review and reaction, basically. So, last episode, we saw a little bit more on Nao's background history and with her brother. But beside that point, we also saw like some day-to-day student council business of them finding new people with powers. And I expected that this episode was going to be the same thing. Like they find some new other person who has powers and they try to convince him and blah, 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 right? We got that, but we also got more to the introduction of the last character in the student council right here, Misa, or is it Misa? No, Yusa. Whoops, I spelled something. Anyways, Yusa, the idol from the first episode. So now with this, they have the whole student council team assembled, and with that, they can do a lot more with this anime now that the main characters are fully introduced and they're finally working together. So back to the episode. The episode started off really funny with its Charlotte's comedy school day life, him trying to get food for the cafeteria, Megane-kun. It was just amazing. Like the first 5 minutes of it was like just them having fun in school, the comedy, and then things started to get serious, right? They went to the student council room. The guy revealed that there's a new power or a new person with powers on the streets, and that the person who had this power had the power of channeling and pyrokinesis. So when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, two powers for one? And I was like, no, that's impossible. The person can't have two powers. And beforehand, I knew of this character, Yusa, and her power. I read that her power was to the channeling and to switch bodies with her, or talk to the dead, and have her dead sister possess her, right? So I was like, okay, who the heck is this pyrokinesis power then to? I assumed someone was chasing this character, and then later on in the episode, we see that someone was actually chasing Yusa in this episode because she apparently stumbled onto some kind of like legal business thing with her corporation or something like that. I don't know, corporate espionage or whatever it is. So she stumbled into something that she wasn't supposed to. So this person that was chasing Yusa finds the student council, and we have like a little rough-in action going on in the show. And to be honest, they totally wipe out a dude with just 3 powers. So Tamori got attacked by some dude, right? And basically what happened was you took over his body for 5 seconds, and then Megane-kun just like teleported and like just slammed him into a wall, and he was like bleeding to death and injured, and I was like, dang, that's a great wombo combo. And they just like took out one adult dude out. So after taking him out, they learn about Yusa's what would you say, her situation, right? She's being chased. She's hired. These guys were hired to go chase after her, capture her, get her phone, and then we see some other person who knows where Yusa is, and he's like, "How did you guys take out that guy that was chasing us before?" So they reveal to this person here who knows Yusa that they all have powers and that they can help Yusa. So then they're taken to Yusa, which is like in some kind of hideout, and we see that she's in the situation, and these two other people, these guys, I don't know, are helping her out with this situation. So now comes the interesting part. So we finally meet Yusa, the idol, right? But then, at the point when they're talking to her, she changes bodies, and we finally see the dead sister, which her name is Misa. I know that because Misa is a very common name. So we meet Misa for the first time, right? And she has the powers of pyrokinesis. And that's when that was just mind blowing to see that her like mentality switch. So basically, Yusa's backstory is she's had this, the channeling power, the body possessing the body with a sister thing, right? And doctors have told her that it's just some kind of sleeping condition, like sleepwalking and stuff like that. But I mean, in real life, it's just her power of channeling to talk to the dead, and her dead sister possess her body. But the sister, on the other hand, when she possesses the body, she has the powers of pyrokinesis, which really astounded me because when like for now she can has her own power, right? But then when the sister takes over, she has her own different power of pyrokinesis. But then she's dead. But so that really puts like a lot of kind of thinking to it. It's like, okay, so she had pyrokinesis, but then she died in some accident. But then she still has the power when she takes over her body. And it's like, huh, interesting. So yeah, this character is really interesting. I like both Yusa and Misa. They're awesome sister relationship, but unfortunately Yusa doesn't know that Misa takes her body. She thinks it's just a sleeping condition, which is really weird. The other two dudes, however, were no Misa back when she was alive. They used to hang out in their crew, which was a pretty good like idea. And after this, we see that the student council are here to help Yusa because they're chasing after, or she's being chased after like the Idol Corporation and stuff like that. They help her, and they come up with this pretty elaborate plan. It's pretty amazing what they can do with powers. So they stage up this meeting, right, with the businessmen, and you just see Yusa pretending to be some kind of, or not Yusa, Misa. You see Misa just like lighting people on fire, and then Megane-kun is like coming in, taking out a dude, and then Nao's beating up someone while she's invisible. It was just awesome. And the people that she burned were the assistants in fireproof clothing. And I was just like, this is brilliantly planned. I mean, I haven't had this much like excitement over something. It has the same feeling like Angel Beats in a way when they have an operation or something like that, you know? It has the same feeling. And just like when I see a plan come together, it's just pretty good. So this plan's ongoing, right? The dude who's in charge of these guys chasing Yusa is freaked out because like, oh my goodness, people are lighting on fire and people are being beat up. I'm getting beat up. Ah. So then, what was that? Anyways, Yusa, or Misa, my bad, Misa. Like he gives the phone back with the information that that started this whole thing, right? So she gives him back the data on the phone or whatever, and is like, okay, leave me the F alone. And don't ever chase after me ever again. And then he runs away, being a little crybaby, and the plan worked. And I was like, yes, successful. Now they'll leave Yusa alone, and she can go back to her ways. But then no. So student council then explains to Yusa and Misa that she has to transfer to the school, or else she will become a human guinea pig because, you know, freaking scientists and their testing of stuff. So yeah, they had to they convinced her to transfer to the school for Yusa's sake. And this was it was really like great planned out scene here. In the ending, they explained that when Yusa grows older, their powers will disappear. And, you know, we know that from the very first episode. When these people with powers grow older, after their adolescence or whatever, I forgot what they say in the anime, but when they grow up, their powers will disappear. And once their powers disappear, Misa will not be able to talk through Yusa ever again. And so the friends of Misa say their goodbyes to Misa and like say, okay, you guys have to cut your ties with me because when Yusa's older, she's gonna disappear and I won't have this power anymore and I'll disappear. And that was just kind of like a really sad scene to say. And then a lot of stuff happened there. And then it was just a really well thought out scene. And what the hell am I holding? I don't need that. It was just a really well thought scene. Like I was 75% on the verge of crying on that part. And that wasn't even like a main story thing. It was just this character right here. And her whole backstory between her sister. What I don't understand is that, you know, she doesn't understand that her sister was taking over her body, which is really weird. But maybe episode 4, who knows? You know. So that's it for the episode. Theories that I want to talk about for this episode. So, have you ever seen the video of me talking about like theories and discussion of this anime? I was talking a lot about like why these people have their powers, specifically and why they're imperfect and whatnot. But in this case of this episode, Yusa's power is imperfect because she can't control when her sister takes over her body. It just happens out of nowhere, right? Misa's power for pyrokinesis, she can light things on fire and she could like take away the fire that, or she could light things on fire and light them off, which is doesn't seem imperfect to me at all. And that just made me think, it's like, wait a minute, how come her power is not imperfect and whatnot? And then there's also the fact that why does she have the power to talk to the dead, and why does she have the power to let her sister possess her body, and then why does the sister have pyrokinesis? That's beyond me. That's the question. But I mean, it's only episode 4, right? Wait, is it 4? I've been saying it's in episode 4. It's actually episode 3. Excuse me on that part. So yes, you have all these questions about the powers, but for what I can say from now on episode 3, at the end of this, is that we have the whole cast assembled right here. Now they can start getting into some serious stuff with the storyline and just adding a whole bunch of new stuff, and we might actually get to the bottom of this whole anime and its storyline. So yeah, this was a really great episode. I really enjoyed this whole background story on Yusa and Misa. We also got some for Tamori in episode 2, but not exactly a lot. Megane-kun, not essentially much yet, but maybe soon. Our main character, I keep thinking that the sister will soon get powers, right? Because of the sibling, what do you even call it? Sibling, what is it called again? The siblings are more likely to get powers passed down, right? So when that happens, maybe we'll learn a little bit more about you. But for now, that's about it for this amazing episode of Charlotte. Yes, episode 3. Can't wait for episode 4, another week from now. Until then, guys, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like the video if you enjoyed. Check out my other stuff from the summer 2015 season. And I will be doing a lot more impressions because I've been lacking on that. And if my heart had wings. So be ready for that, guys. Take care. And I'll see you guys later. Matane.